Hello and welcome back to another video. Today, as I mentioned in the last one, we'd like to talk about a little bit of transfer business, Leeds United transfer business. Today, I'm going to be talking about departures and departures only. If you'd like to see me talk about maybe some incomings in another video, I'd absolutely love to do so. But without further ado, I'm going to load up a tier list. I'm going to talk about Leeds United players, who should stay and who should go. And voila, just like that, the tier list, as you can see, for me, it's just over here. For you guys, it's just above me here. I'm going to be talking about all the different Leeds players, everyone who I've recognised in the first team squad at the moment, as you can see here, and who should stay, who should go. So the different categories are must stay. So this is a absolutely we cannot afford to lose this player. They are the future of Leeds United. Must keep hold of them. Should stay is I think we'd like to keep them. I'd like to see them stay, but it would be the end of the world if they go. Not bothered means I just couldn't care less whether or not they go or stay. It sounds a bit brutal. I just don't really care. They can stay if they want. They can go if they want. Doesn't really matter. If the money's right, now I think this is a big one for this category. Um, for Leeds, particularly this season with the relegation, there's a lot of players that we'd like to keep them. Let's be real, but if the money's right and the good money there, I'll be happy to get rid of them. They should be playing in the Championship. That sort of player. And then last but not least, you got get him gone, which is the level for players that I just you don't want to see at the club anymore. So yeah, let's get into it with the first one. These all in no particular order, random order. So start with Luke Ayling. Now, Luke Ayling, for me, I'd like to see him probably as our second choice right back next season rather than our first choice. I think you can probably imagine who I'm going to say is the first choice, but with Luke Ayling in there, I think he should be in the should stay category. He's a good player. He's our club vice captain. He's done it in the championship before. He's had promotion in the championship before. Gives us a bit of flexibility in centre half. I know I'm sick of Leeds going, oh, we know we can play centre half or we can play this position rather than going for people who out and out in their position. But he could be useful in a Premier League Championship campaign nonetheless. So why not keep hold of him? I wouldn't be too mad. I think we could replace him, but I'd like to see him stay. Now next up, Patrick Bamford. Now Bamford's an interesting one. I was sort of somewhere in here, maybe even up here. I'm gonna go for if the money's right with Bamford. I think if the money's good, get him gone. If not, if he wants to play in the Championship, then I think he could do a job in the Championship. He's done it in the Premier League. I know he's got the injury issues. I don't think we can rely on him in the Championship. But if he's happy to stay and the club are happy to invest further in another striker that can play when he's absent, then if why not keep him? Otherwise, if the money's right, get him gone. Next up, Lewis Bate. Now, Lewis Bate's a tough one. He's playing really well in League One last season. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I put him in the should stay category. I don't see why we'd lose him. He's still young, got a bit of quality, could possibly prove himself. Should stay. Liam Cooper, club captain. I've put Coops in the must stay category. Now, I think he might be one of the more flexible in the must stay, but like I said, club captain, he's done it in the championship. As much as maybe people question his ability at times, he loves the club. He's a club captain. He's a really good club captain, especially off the pitch. Must stay. Next one up, Helder Costa. Now that's an interesting one. I've put him in getting gone. I saw earlier today that he was actually in the squad possibly for the Man U friendly, or he's certainly training, which is an interesting. But it's been a couple of years out. He's only got I think a year left in his deal. Get him gone. He doesn't need to be at the club wasting. I don't want him playing in front of the wingers we got there. Get him gone. Next up, Charlie Cresswell. I think again that's another one in the must stay category. I think could we live without Cresswell? Yes, but why would you? You know, he's a Leeds lad. He's done it in the Championship last season at Millwall. He fought back into the squad. He's been playing for the under England under 21s. It's a brilliant opportunity for him to be bred into the team. Possibly a successor to Cooper in terms of club captain. There's no reason why not. Must stay for me, I think. Next up, I think Stuart Dallas. I'm going to put him in the should stay category. I'm not so sure with Dallas because we don't know where he's up with fitness. I would almost maybe say not bothered if he's not going to play, but if he's going to be fit at some point this season, then I think he should stay. I think you will get something out of him. He's a good squad player. You know, in that midfield role with the ball carrying in the Fark system, he could do a job, and some maybe some left back, right back cover if you really get desperate. Next up, I think this might be a nice easy one. In fact, I've put it in capital letters on my note sheet. This one, Junior Firpo. Get him gone. Get him gone. I think he's going to go to Betis anyway, probably on loan, I think it was, but I think he's definitely going to go to Betis. He said when he first signed for us that he wants to go back and play for Betis. He's not been good enough. He's shown it in moments, and we've only liked him in those moments because he's been so shit. Um, Junior Firpo, get him gone. Next up, Joe Gelhart. Joe Gelhart, I've got him in the should stay category again. I think maybe slightly above Lewis Bate. He should stay. There's no reason to lose him. I think again we could live without him. We haven't really seen Gelhart in a position or in a tactic setup that suits him entirely. It's sort of just been in the Premier League. Oh fuck it, we'll chuck Gelhart on, see if he can do something. I'd like to see us work with him a bit more. I don't think we can sell him. We should sell him. I think if anywhere other than there, he would be in the if the money's right. You know, if someone come in big offer for him, of course you'd sell him. But I think that's the case for any player. But in particular, I think Gelhart, he should stay. Why not? Why not? Now Jorginho Rutter, again, very similar to Gelhart. I'm sticking him in the should stay category. He should stay. There's no reason why we should lose him. We've spent big money on him. I think he's on a reasonable wage or quite a hefty wage, but with the relegation clauses, that shouldn't be too obscene. You know, Fox already come out and said he considers him a winger. I think a lot of managers, I think I was seeing with Phil Hay recently, a lot of managers said he should be a winger as opposed to this is the ones they interviewed. So, you know, I'd like to see him do a job out there. You know, if you watch his highlight reels, which I know can be deceiving sometimes. He's always coming in off the wings is where he had his best moments. He's 2-footed, can play on either side. I think he should stay. I wouldn't be too asked if we lost him or if he wanted to leave out on loan, but I think he should stay. Sam Greenwood. I think there's going to be a lot of players in this category. Again, he should stay. There's no reason to sell him. You know, he can do it in the Championship. He's played in the Premier League. So surely once that step down, you know, that could be a real position for him. He's a free kick specialist. I remember saying, I said this not on YouTube, obviously, because I wasn't doing this, but I've said last season that Sam Greenwood is destined for for a career in the EFL, in the Championship. You know, he's got that free kick set ball specialist. Why would you sell him? You know, he's currently with Aronson now gone out on loan. He's our currently our only senior number 10 or recognised number 10. Why sell him? Keep him. Jack Harrison, if the money's right. If the money's right. If he wants to stay around and play in the championship, I don't imagine he does. But if not, you know, there's no reason to push him out the door if he's not too asked about leaving. But you know, if the money's right, if a Premier League club comes in and wants to pay for him, then absolutely get him gone. Leo Helder. I've put Leo Helder interestingly in the must stay category, which I might be a little bit ambitious. But I think he must stay. He's young, he's quality, he's a centre half, he can play on that left hand side. You know, if you've got Cody Drammer on the right, maybe he's that defensive cover on the left to allow him to get forward and then for us to build up in a back three. He gives us some options. He's done it in the championship. Absolutely should stay for me. One for the future. Ilan Melier. Now, I could possibly put Emile Melia in the get him gone category just because I think people are fed up with him, fed up with the goals conceded, fed up with the lack of saves and the hands and the Poppadom hands that can't really save anything. People are fed up with him. I think he could be a good keeper in the championship, but if the money's right, get him gone. You know, I think Leeds fans have had enough with that. Next up, we have got Dan James. Now, Dan James for me, again, is somewhere in here. I think he's in the must stay category for me. I might be a little bit ambitious again, similar to Helder, but he's a really good player. He was unreal in the championship at Swansea. Obviously nearly earned him the move to us, and then earned him to the move to Scum half a season later. But yes, he cost 25 million. Yes, it was silly, but in the championship with his pace, he can cause anyone problems. And 3, 4 years older than he was when he was last in the championship. There's no reason why he wouldn't absolutely tear it apart. I could possibly move him down. I'll see. I'll wait to the end and see how it is, and we'll do a bit of a rejig. But at the moment, I'm thinking he should be must stay. Chris Clarkson, I'm not bothered to be honest. He's our only senior keeper, really. If Melier does go, and I think Melier should go, and Robles hasn't accepted a contract offer that we by all accounts given him. I'm not asked. He played once for us. He kept a clean sheet. I think he's okay. I try not to get too excited about him. Not bothered. Luis Sinistera, a nice easy one, I think, if the money's right. He's a brilliant player, probably way too good for the championship. If he wants to stay, he can stay. If not, if the money's right, get him gone. Max Verber. Max Verber, I've put in the if the money's right category, but I'm going to stick him right up here. I'd like to keep hold of Max Verber. I think he's one player that was really unfortunate not to, or it's unfair to pin the relegation on him. I think players like Koch and Lorente that we've seen, maybe, sorry, not Lorente, Koch and Aronson and stuff that we've seen gone out on loan. You could say fair enough, get them gone. They're not been good enough. But Verba put in some good performances, put in some really great performances at times. He wasn't bad. If the money's right, he can go. If not, let's keep him. Pascal Stroik, again, if the money's right, he's replaceable. I think we could get some good money for him from Europe. I wouldn't like to lose him. I like the guy. But if the money's right, why not? Jan Poveda, I'm not bothered. He done it in the championship last season. He wasn't great. He wasn't anything special, but he wasn't awful. If he wants to hang around and warm the bench, then he's more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'm not bothered. Christensen, I think get him gone. I know he's linked with Roma anyway, out on loan, but I think he would just block the pathway for drama. He's not going to want to play in the championship probably just because of where he's come from. Get him gone. Mark Rocker, get him gone. Again, linked on loan. I think it's Betis again. He's not good enough for the Premier League. I don't think he has the physical features for the Premier League. He could maybe be a good player in the Championship, but I think you come from Bayern Munich, your head's going to be above that. I think he's better off just getting gone. His head, he wasn't really asked about relegation. I don't think. Get him gone. Cody Drammer must stay, and not only must stay, must play. What a player I think he could be for us. Unreal at Cardiff for 6 months, came back, didn't really do much, went out on loan to Luton. Unreal player at Luton. One of the players that helped them get promoted, played almost every game for them. In that Fark system, as a right back, I think he's a brilliant option, one for the future. If he doesn't play, then we have to get rid of him because it's just not working for him. So I think now is the time to play him, keep him, and see what we can do with him. Rodrigo. Now I think Rodrigo, controversially, I'm gonna put him in the get him gone category. And this is for a different reason for every other player in that category. As we all know, Rodrigo was unreal last season for us in the Premier League. Different level. The goals he scored were massively important. The effort he put in, week out, how much he showed he cared. I think for Rodrigo, I'm going to put him in that section. Get him gone. He does not deserve to be playing in the Championship with the way he played last season and the passion and how much he cared. Get him gone for the sake of him, for his sake. Get him gone. Shax, I'm not bothered. He wins a bleep test. He's quite quick. But is he great? He didn't really play at Millwall last season. We'd like to think we're around about where Millwall are going to be, or maybe a little bit better next season is where we'll be aiming. I'm not bothered if he wants to go, if he wants to stay around. I think he's got the passion for it. I think he's got some of the ability. He's got the physical assets, but I'm not bothered. Somerville. I think Somerville must stay for me. And I think I saw in the again from Phil Hay in a podcast the other day that he thinks Somerville will leave, which I think is a real shame because I think this is his real opportunity to burst into the first team and really carry himself. He was brilliant last season at times when he played. He caused defenders no end of problems. Obviously, he had the goal at Liverpool, the goal at Bournemouth. Um, I think he must stay. He's at that point of his career where he's ready to become a first team player. If he wants to go and do that somewhere else, maybe back home in the Netherlands or something, then we can't really stand in his way. But I think if we can keep him, we must keep him. I think he's really important. The next one, Tyler Adams. I think Tyler Adams is if the money's right. And I think that's a difficult one because of his injury. We don't necessarily know when he's getting back. I think the club will hope he'll be back for the start of the season. So maybe we lose him in August. But, if the money's right, he can go. But, obviously it would be unreal to keep him. I think it'd be unfair to try and keep him. If that's not what he wants, this is USA captain. He's played for RB Leipzig. He's a good player. He was unreal for us last season. Um, but with the injury, it might add some complications into there. We might be able to keep it. And then last but not least, Willie Gnonto. I really don't know with Willie. Obviously, I think he's incredible and I love the guy. What a player. I mean, I think he was probably fans' favourite player last season. I watched him score at West Ham. I watched him score against Cardiff. Oh, what a player. Young, I'm somewhere between, and this is really far apart in the tier list. This is where this category sort of mixes things up a bit. Somewhere between must stay and if the money's right. Because I think if the money's right, I think who are we to stand in his way? I think if Juventus, Roma, someone like that comes in and wants him, I'm not sure how much we can do to keep him. But otherwise, I think we really should. I'm gonna put him in the must stay category. Fuck it. Do you know what? He's going at the top of the must stay category because I think he's that good and he's that young. I think we're fortunate in the sense that he's not been here quite long enough and he's not done it quite enough that we can say, yeah, he's too good for us. Possibly with his age, he might want another year to settle. That might look good for him or might do him good in the long run. So yeah, Willie Gnonto must stay. I'm quite happy with that. I don't know, I think maybe Helder I moved down, or maybe sort of sits between it. He's a good player, Helder. He's young. I think maybe I'm moving down into the should stay category. But other than that, I think I'm pretty much happy with that tier list. Obviously, you guys possibly got a different opinion. Let me know down below if you disagree with any, if you agree with any, or anything else. And obviously, let me know if you want me to do any other videos. Otherwise, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys another time.